welcome Alejandro.
Hello. Yeah. Hi everyone. Nice to be here. Dublin Tech Summit. It's a great city. Awesome weather. Yesterday I had one too many beers at the club, but that's what you do in Dublin, right? So I'm going to speak about mining. Mining is, there's a lot of questions and misconceptions with mining, and I'm going to try to answer that for you guys here today. So let me quickly, thanks for the introduction there. Let me explain what the company does. Bitmain is, so BTC.com is part of Bitmain. Bitmain is the biggest mining manufacturer in the world. We produce these big miners here that mine Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, and Siacoin. So we create these specialized ASIC chips. We actually create the chips ourselves. ASIC stands for Application Specific Integrated Circuit. So what these chips do is just do one thing very good. It's mine. We're the leading company in this field. BTC.com is who I work for, or what I do. We have a leading wallet. It's a Bitcoin Cash wallet. Very simple to use, very intuitive. You can buy and sell as well in there. And we support, Bitcoin Cash. Aside from that, we have one of the biggest mining pool in Bitcoin. We own around 30% of the whole entire Bitcoin network goes through our mining pool. We pay off the fees to the users, to the miners, and we have the highest payout of all the mining pools. That's why we're number one. If you want to get some Bitcoin Cash, we have a booth downstairs. We're giving away some free Bitcoin Cash. So go ahead and try it out if you're interested. So first things first, what is mining? Mining is basically the network being ran, right? These miners are actually running the Bitcoin network. They're verifying transactions, and these transactions, if they follow the consensus rules, are added into the digital ledger. This digital ledger, as many of you probably know, is called the blockchain. Each block consists of transactions that are confirmed by the miners. The blocks are done every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes there's a block created, and this has a correlation to the difficulty of the network. If there's more miners being added into the network, then the difficulty increases in order for every 10 minutes to create a block. The other way around, if there's less miners, then the difficulty decreases, but it's always 10 minutes. That constant needs to stay always the same. So let me give you a little bit of background on the mining history. It all started in, Satoshi Nakamoto, when he created Bitcoin. We don't know who that is, or he or she, or a group of people. You can mine Bitcoin with just your computer, your laptop at home. You can just turn that on and start mining some Bitcoin. You could get up to 50 Bitcoins per 10 minutes, which is a lot of money nowadays. But eventually people started getting into mining. They started specializing in the hardware. Then people started creating these infrastructures called GPUs, or what started mining with GPUs, and it became a little bit more harder to get into mining. Difficulty increased. And then we came along, we started creating ASICs. And now the difficulty is much harder, and you cannot mine with a laptop anymore. You have to have an ASIC machine. So, the mainstream media, they have how should I say this? They love to bash Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's dead, Bitcoin is used by criminals, Bitcoin drugs, right? It's always all these clickbait articles. And now there's this new mainstream topic. It's waste. Bitcoin is, mining is creating all this CO2 gases. Everyone's mining with coal. It's destroying the world. Why is this even happening? If you don't understand Bitcoin, it kind of makes sense. You have these computers that are expensive and turned on all day, and it looks like it's very bad, right? But I'm going to explain to you how how the mining market has evolved for it to be actually not a waste. Before I get into that, we need to also consider our competitors, right? The banks, payment infrastructure, Visa, MasterCard. They waste a lot of waste. They create a lot of electricity as well. I mean, these big buildings, they cost a lot of electricity. Like just transporting money is a lot of fossil fuels, servers, POS systems. That adds up as well. So I mean, there's always something to consider, right? Because Bitcoin is very simple. Like it's this machine, and you see it in these big server farms. You're like, oh, that's waste. But you don't really consider how actually, you know, the banks and all the payment system are also wasting a ton of electricity. Something to keep in mind. So yeah, since I work for, you know, the biggest mining manufacturing company, I get to see like firsthand where the miners are being sent and who's buying these miners and how these miners are being connected to the grid, to the electrical grid. And what I've noticed over the years, over the last 2 years, is that, well, since the beginning, but mostly the last 2 years, is that a lot of these miners are actually connected to green energy. You got China, which where our company headquarters is. China had this boom, as we all know, and what happens is that when you want to build a city, when you're planning a city, you build an electrical power plant, right? And in this case, in China, they built a lot of hydroelectric plants, but then the city never came, you know. Like so, I've been to these places where you drive 3-4 hours into mainland China, and you get to this middle of nowhere, and there's this huge hydroelectric power plant just standing in the middle of nowhere. So that's wasted energy, actually. These hydroelectric plants, are just like not being used at all. So what's going on is that some entrepreneurs, some people are buying these miners and then, you know, connecting to the grid, which is otherwise wasted energy. Like hydroelectric plants, if you don't use it, they just shoot the electricity into the ground. Same thing is happening in Siberia with nuclear, although nuclear is kind of debatable if it's clean or not. Also with solar power plants, with solar panels, it's also the same. So solar panels, you create energy, and if you don't use it, it's wasted. To store and to move energy is very expensive, and doesn't make a lot of sense for the company or the entrepreneur to do. So what they do, they just shoot it into the ground, or just waste it. So people are actually setting up miners to use that wasted energy, which is green energy, and actually paying for their capital investment in this solar panel plant, right? So what would otherwise cost 3 years to get your initial investment back is now taking 1 year because of these mining, because of the mining, and because of, you know, powering this decentralized network. So something to consider, right? Like it's not really what you hear in the mainstream media. How it's otherwise wasted. It's otherwise energy that was not being used, and now it's powering this decentralized free network currency called Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies as well, of course. Because look, miners have, I mean, it's very simple. Miners want to make money, and the green energy is cheapest electricity as well. Coal is expensive, but nuclear, hydro is very cheap. So it's the natural market actually just figuring itself out. Miners are going to choose green energy because it's cheaper. And then what's actually also happening now, I've seen many people come up to me and tell me, I'm setting up the solar panel plant, and I'm doing it because I have a few other business partners that want to set up a mining farm. So I'm setting up the solar panel plant because I'm going to connect it to, sell it to this guy, to these miners. So it might be even pushing green infrastructure being built all over the world. So, but to get back into mining, mining has a thing called proof of work. That's what the electricity is used for, right? The electricity, when you mine Bitcoin, you're running the network, and you're securing the network. The byproduct of that is Bitcoin. It's not the aim. When people say in the mainstream or people talking mining Bitcoin, that's incorrect. Actually, it's powering the network, securing the network, creating the blockchain technology, creating the security of the blockchain technology that is immutable, so these transactions can be made all across the globe. This scheme is called proof of work. So what it does is that this electrical usage is actually entered. So what happens is there's this data set, and then according to how much proof of work, so electricity usage, it's entered into the block. What that means is that it creates a certain value, I believe, right? That's my own belief. I think that actually Bitcoin's value comes from the electrical usage, right? It's kind of like fiat currencies. Fiat currencies have proof of war, right? They're maintained through force and war and through nation states. Well, Bitcoin is maintained through the usage of electricity, a resource, limited resource. And as well, so to get aside from that, the security aspect of proof of work is very interesting and extremely necessary. For you to hack, that's why people say Bitcoin is unhackable and all that stuff. What they mean is that to tamper a transaction that happened, let's say, a day ago, you will have to provide the same amount of computing power or hash power to go back. So let's say the block has 1,000 energy usage. You would have to go back a day, you would have to get to every single block and produce the same amount of electricity that was needed to produce that block for you to tamper with that last block from yesterday. So what that basically, it's extremely expensive to do that, and someone doing this needs to do it in a space of 10 minutes, because once the next block has been mined or created, you will have to start all over again, because you will have to get into the block, produce that same electricity, and then try to tamper the past transaction. So what that security feature of combining electrical power into this network is what gives it like its security and its value as well. That scheme is what creates the blockchain technology. Is what creates the immutability of the blockchain technology. It is you can't change anything in this system. It's the first time in human society, in human civilization, that we've created a tamper-proof technology that is not controlled by anyone. It's controlled by this amazing technology. That in itself is a very strong and step forward for humanity to be able to have this immutable digital system participated by everyone and everyone. Okay, that was what I was talking about. That was my, so yeah, so to conclude, proof of work, mining should be seen in a different light. Mining should be seen as, number one, security for a very important technology for humanity. Two, for a decentralized currency for everyone to use, right? It's not controlled by anyone. We don't need to. It's open for everyone. By the way, we're not trying to, a lot of people think that Bitcoiners, people like me who started a long time ago, were all crypto anarchists and all that stuff. No. We're just trying to create an open, alternative financial system. We're not trying to destroy the banks and all that good stuff. No, we just want to do an alternative, open financial system that is open for everyone. Fair system, not controlled by anyone. Not, you're not barred to enter this. This technology is extremely important for us as a whole, I believe. And the way it works is through the usage of this electricity, so of hash power, computing power. So I don't know. I want you guys to just think a little bit, have a little bit more open mind. Not you guys, but mainstream media. To think, actually, it's not that bad. It's not what you think it is. It's actually what is powering this decentralized and strong and immutable network. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, that was really eye-opening, Alejandro. Thank you so much.
And
we do have a bit of time for some questions. I'm sure there's some questions out here. This is such an interesting aspect of technology, and Possibly our world's future financial system. Are there any questions for Alejandro about Bitcoin mining? Yes, in the second row. Thank you. If you could introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Jan David. I'm working at HPE, also with blockchain technology. My question is, as you already said, you are owning the biggest mining pool,
yeah.
like 30% of the whole network. Isn't that exactly something what is not decentralized? And it's more centralized. It's like, and you also said that SIA coin, you have also a Bitmain mining rig for SIA now.
Yes.
And that was also a big debate.
Sure.
We are all not over this debate, if it's a good thing to have all this ASICs or not.
Okay, so that's two questions. Number one, the mining pool. A mining pool is exactly what, so in our industry, we're not very creative with the names. You know, we call it blockchain. It's a chain of blocks. It's a mining pool. It's a pool of miners. So what it is. It's anyone. It's a decentralized. Like anyone can connect to our mining pool. We just have a better scheme in paying out. But we're not. A miner could just literally just click one or enter one command onto their mining farm and switch on to the next one. So it's just economic sense. It makes more economic sense because we pay out a higher payout, which is paying more. But the mining pool is not controlled by us. We pay out all the fees. I mean, we take a small percentage of the payouts. That's how we make money. But each miner is decentralized. We don't even know where these miners are at. They're everywhere. So it's up to them to decide. If they decide to mine with us because we have a better payout scheme, then okay. The second thing about ASICs, look, this is a very hot debate right now in this industry. There's no stopping specialized hardware, all right? Like, you need to also consider, like I was saying in my talk, when you have specialized hardware that is powering the network, your security, in effect, is stronger than without. So if you have, let's say, GPUs or whatever scheme they're using for mining, and there's an ASIC created by us or by our competitors, whatever, in effect, it's actually a stronger, it's a stronger thing for coin. One, there's now specialized hardware for that coin, so that coin kind of gets sort of legitimate, kind of legitimizes that coin. You know, there's some specialized hardware made for this coin, so some serious investment behind it. Two, the network is stronger in effect. So there's nothing wrong with creating ASICs, and you can't stop it. You can't stop it. There's no way you can stop that.
Yeah, the unstoppable rise of Bitcoin. Fantastic. Now, I just want to check, is our next speaker ready to join us on stage?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, getting a big thumbs up to the back. So once more, a big round of applause for Alejandro. That was brilliant. Thank you. And Alejandro will be back on stage in roughly 20 minutes for a fantastic panel we have called Crouching